So, Lies of P now exists in first-person VR with motion controls. And I'm not gonna lie, this looks really cool. I was able to beat the first section, up to and including the first tutorial boss fight, and even venture a bit beyond. When it works, it's super immersive. However, the mod comes with a few drawbacks that might prevent me from finishing the game this way. Nevertheless, this is a mod that's flying under the radar, so it's time to check it out. Hi, my name is Alex, and I originally planned to do a YouTube essay about third-person games in VR, specifically Soulsborne and Souls-likes. But of course, the first-person perspective will probably always be the best way to experience VR. Lies of P is another Unreal Engine 5 game that is UEVR injection ready right out of the box. But now, with a first-person perspective and motion controls, it offers a completely different point of view. Literally. Creator LukasBlaster spent over 200 hours fine-tuning his mod. He states that he has reached the final area of the game on the original difficulty completely in VR. I've only tried out the starter area so far. Keep in mind, even though the mod is released and you can try it out via the links in the description, it's still a work in progress. Let's tackle the basic gameplay of the mod. There is a small learning curve. Lukas has created an excellent explanation video on how the mod is meant to be played. Essentially, the core game is still completely intact, but the camera and some body elements are adjusted to give you the first-person view and place the weapons in your hand. To attack, you swing your arm in a forward motion. The mod recognizes this gesture and initiates the light attack. Guarding and parrying work by holding your weapon sideways in front of you, ideally at eye level. Parrying is simply doing this motion with its right timing. Dodging is achieved by placing your left hand slightly in front of you and then quickly pulling it backward towards you. This backward movement seems counterintuitive at first, but quickly became a habit. Controlling the menus is similar to the Silent Hill 2 remake in VR. You hold the left controller next to your head and then use the thumbstick as a D-pad. If you've seen my guide for UEVR, you might know that I dislike the thumb rest on the Quest controller. Unfortunately, Lukas, the mod creator, relies heavily on this area. In my last video, I mentioned that I like having the HUD visible in front of me to get all the information quickly. Lukas takes a different approach. His default UI setting makes the flat screen UI so massive that you don't see it in normal gameplay, as he aims for total immersion without overlays. The HUD also follows your view, so you almost never see it besides the edges. To view the HUD, you place your right thumb on the thumb rest. This locks the HUD in position so you can look around. It's probably just me, but not knowing which item is currently selected on the lower belt, or how much blue mana, health or stamina I have is crucial information. Lukas implemented a Half-Life Alyx style system for item usage, where you hold down the A button and then swipe left or right to use the pre-placed item there. That's totally cool. And because of that, you don't need to see always what in this item slot, because you remember what you have placed there. But for throwables, I need to know what I have currently on my slot. And later on, I need to know if my weapons needs to be repaired. I died twice just because I went into a fight and hadn't checked my health bar beforehand. So I decreased the UI size in the UEVR options. But yeah, then the UI follows view option makes the UI quite shaky. I probably haven't found the best UI setting for me yet. I would love to see the UI perhaps modded so that you only see the relevant at-hand information, maybe like a watch. For instance, I don't need to know how many souls I currently have, but mana and health are important, at least for me. Now let's get over to my biggest annoyance. I know it's still a work in progress and might be patched someday, but currently the alignment of your in-game body compared to your real body is very off at times, and you never get feedback on whether you're looking in the same direction as P. In my Silent Hill video, you may recall that I physically turn myself in my gaming room, avoiding the thumbsticks to spin around. This leads to a misalignment when attacking or dodging. Your third attack goes into a different direction than you are actually standing, because of in-game Pinocchio might be facing another angle. When you perform an attack, P jumps a few centimeters forward, and that's when you see that you are not standing straight. This then results in missing hits, even when it looks like you are damaging the enemy. Silent Hill VR mod was able to calculate physics-based damage on the monsters. In Lies of P, the motion is just a gesture of an attack that triggers the in-game attack animation. In my first 10 minutes of trying the mod, I noticed a delay between the real-life swing and the actual attack. That was because I didn't have a trainer installed and running, which Lukas recommends using to set the attack speed to 3. With that update, some attacks truly felt immersive and weird. The more I played, however, the more the misalignment between my real body and the in-game body affected my gameplay. Trying to lock onto enemies, like a normal Souls game, makes the movement system a bit weirder. And yes, even for me, a VR veteran, that made me a bit nauseous, because the camera and you move in a completely different way than you are pointing. As of now, I don't think I'll be continuing the game with the mod in its current state. I've somehow lost trust in the mod towards the end. I need to be sure that if I swing in the one direction, the game also executes the attack in that direction. But I will keep an eye on the Flat2VR Discord for updates. Because in first person, the game and the environment looks gorgeous. The world is detailed and the scale is true to life. And you never truly know how tall the parade master is until you stand right in front of him. VR desperately needs more games like this, and mods like these show how absolutely incredible and immersive VR really can be. At the end, I even overstimulated the trainer a bit, making myself invincible. I think just hiking around Quad is also an experience worth having. Finally, I'd like to go quickly through the installation process. First, there is a zip file containing a mod, a hotfix and the UEVR profile. Place the mod folder into the Steam game content folder and extract the hotfix into the binaries folder. On Steam, set the launch options to -no HMD and import the UEVR profile in UEVR. For UEVR settings, I politely point you towards my beginner's guide video. Lastly, the trainer can be started at any time. Set the attack speed to 3.0 in there. There is also a readme with instructions, the list of gestures and possible bugs with the fixes. I also had to readjust my left arm once, and teleporting didn't help. But according to Lukas, that's a rare bug and can be fixed quite quickly if you find the skeleton mesh in the UEVR main menu. If you made it this far, thank you for watching this video. My channel is still very new, so any feedback, criticism and subscriptions are very welcome. I know that my English pronunciation isn't perfectly YouTube friendly, but I don't want to use any AI voices. I may do another video about why I started this YouTube project. But as of for now, thank you for watching, greetings from Germany and safe travels.